Okay, this is the third shot at this video, and hopefully the third time is a charm. I'm actually re-recording it with a digital camcorder, because I don't want to have to deal with the capture card. The capture card did not like the difference between something like a dark subject, like, I don't know, maybe this smashed up iPhone here that was actually found on the road. I'm not sure if I'll do anything with it, but it's there. And the display. I can give you a demonstration. Here's the video right here. Well, this is one of them anyways. Just mute it. You don't need to hear my voice. So let's go to where we actually start to have the problem. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Right around here somewhere is when the problem starts to manifest itself. You can see it right there. Now you can really see that. If we get to other certain points of the video, it really starts to freak out. I'm not sure where that would be, though, off the top of my head. Can't seem to find it. I don't know where it is. Oh, there we go. There's one of them. But it gets worse than that. But so I'm going to reshoot this video. What I was talking about actually was the area that's right over there. And there's some junk right there right now that needs to go downstairs. Actually, there's a lot of junk that needs to go downstairs. I was talking about how I'd moved. There used to be a stack of clock radios there. And I'd moved them up into the closet in here. A collection of clock radios is up there. Been almost a month since I shot that video, and none of them have fallen over, so that's a good sign. So there was that I talked about, and then I'd also talked about some studio camera work. I had mentioned that the Sony Handycam that used to be on that tripod there is in Ross ACB's possession. Presently, temporarily replaced with that, which is a camera that Ross had given me. That camera there is actually due to replace this one up here, which is another one that Ross has given me. It's a Samsung unit, rebadged Sony. It's a Video 8 camera, and that's one of the reasons why I don't want it in the studio, because those, at this point, tend to really have bad capacitors. This one doesn't. I've used it on a number of shows, including flagship 4-hour shows, and it's never missed a beat, so it works fine, but I don't want the bad caps to catch up to it if it ever develops any, and eventually it will. Eventually all of these cameras will develop bad capacitors. But anyways, another reason why I want it to not be there is because it overhangs quite a bit. It doesn't really fit up there. That's not the best place for that camera. And the other thing is that it has a nice picture and good audio quality, so I want to use it to record videos. And being up here makes it a hindrance to try and use it to record videos, so I don't want it to be up there. It may be the outdoor camera, it may not, I don't really know yet. Something else I did. This camera is due to get replaced as well. I'm not sure with what yet, but eventually this thing's no longer going to be here as well. So we'll see how that works. I mean, this camera records even though it's in absolutely deplorable condition. I mean, you can see just how well loved that is. Something else I did, there used to be a different JVC camera here. I replaced that. And that JVC used to actually be right here. I've replaced it with this camera, which it records, but it's got a little bit of an issue with what's wrong with it is it's got some speed problems. So the audio comes out all warbly and weird. But it's here. The picture's good. It takes one of those proprietary connections, but I've got the cable for it, so I might as well use it. The camera works otherwise, though. See if we can turn it on. Oh, switch is on the front. Yeah, you can get an idea. You could open up the flip-out LCD, and that will give us a better idea of what it looks like. So you can see that. None of that is the subject of the video, so let's get on with the actual subject of the video, and that's exactly the wording that I used. This is the last thing, I promise. I got some Christmas lights in the studio now. These are the old lights for the old tree that we had to get rid of, unfortunately, because the cat basically destroyed it by trying to climb it. This particular, I picked the wrong box of lights. This particular set of fixtures has got a couple bad spots. These two here are dead, and there's two more over here that are dead. There are a couple of blinking lights on here. There's one. There's a second one that is down there. I'm sure you can see it. I was hoping that there'd be more of them on this, but there aren't, and I don't really feel like going to find blinking lights. So, there you go. Most Christmas lights don't blink anyways. But, it used to be cool, that tree, but we had to get rid of the tree, because the cat used to keep climbing the damn tree, and eventually the tree just got to being a sad shape. It used to, every time we would put that tree away, we used to have to vacuum up a whole swath of fake pine needles that used to be all over the place, because that was a thing. There's a fake tree. We don't buy real trees, because real trees are hard to keep, so... There you go. And they only last for 1 year. Like, what's the sense in that? Just buy a fake tree. It'll last forever. Almost. Unless you got a cat that climbs it. There's C7 bulbs, if anybody's wondering. Alright, I'm pretty sure that by this point people are saying, oh, just get on with the damn video already. So let's do that. This is the subject of the video. It is a Kensington notebook keypad calculator with USB hub. And there's the same thing in French. For those of you that are French. Model number M01007. Product number K72274. 500 milliamps. So it's a safe bet the USB hub, which is 2 ports up there, is probably only USB 1.1 based on that figure. Obviously it says designed in California, USA, and assembled in China, so we all know what that means. It's designed and assembled in China. We're going to do 2 things in this video. Well, 3 things if you separate the calculator and the keypad functionality. But we're also going to test the limits of this, because I've got a plan. I want to see just what this thing can do when its limits are stressed. So, it's been a long time since you've seen this computer here, so I figured that it's a good place to start. For those of you who are new to this channel, and there are a lot of you, this used to be my main computer up until 2014. When I replaced it with the Lenovo ThinkPad T410 that's sitting over there with a dinner plate so wonderfully displayed on top of it. So the Lenovo ThinkPad T500, it's got a 2.26 gigahertz CPU in it. I think it's the Intel Core 2 Duo P8400. I think it's the 84. I might have upgraded it, but I don't think I have. And it's got 4 gigabytes of DDR3 RAM. It's got a... Oh, sorry, no. It's actually got a 120 gigabyte SSD installed in it. Now, it used to have a 500 gigabyte hard drive, but it's now got an SSD. And it is running Windows 8.1. Whoops, not quite what I wanted to do. I wanted to open it. A little bit difficult to open with one hand. There you can see, obviously running Windows 8. Have to enter my password. And I'm not the desktop, but... anyways, this thing's got a little bit of a fan problem, and that was why I replaced it in the first place. So, and the fan is really, really noisy. So let's go ahead and plug this thing in and see what it does. Alright, got a device setup message. Installing device. Please wait while setup and installs necessary files on your system. This may take several minutes. And I hope it doesn't take several minutes, because this is a very simple keypad. USB input device. Alright, cool. Looks like it actually worked. I'm going to do that again, just unplug it and plug it back in so we can watch it initialize itself. See, it's on keypad, and what that really means is that number lock is on and it's in keypad mode, so we can turn on number lock and turn it on. Of course, it's probably really only most useful in number lock mode, but I know that there are some people who would like to use it not in number lock mode. So we'll go ahead and we'll open up a text editor. I don't know, Notepad sounds as good as anything else. It's the de facto standard. So we'll go ahead and we will type some things on this and have a listen to the keys. You can see it coming in. Special keys work too. Zero zero, that's kind of interesting. It actually shows up as 00 on the computer. Then we got a backspace key. Of course, we can turn off number lock and use it as, you know, any ordinary thing here. Push enter. That still works. We can use the arrow keys. Oops, wrong button. Can push, I don't know, end key, home key, page up, page down, those won't really do much. Insert, which doesn't really work in Notepad. Delete, and I think that's really it for that particular little bit of demonstration. Something interesting I noticed is there's a currency button up here. When you push that, it puts a euro symbol in here, but I haven't noticed that in every text editor. It seems to only be Notepad. Of course, there's tab functionality, which seems to put an equal sign in. And there's calculator functions that don't really do much on this thing. I don't know what the FN key is for, and likewise on this thing here, I don't know what the F actually stands for. That's kind of interesting. So let's change the mode into calculator mode. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, on this here, I'm going to put it on a new line, so that way when I do some demonstrations, we can actually see it and know what it's talking about. Know the positions. Sometimes I really do think that I need to script these videos, but I like doing them off the seat of my pants because then it's a genuine video. I hate scripting things because that just sounds like work. So anyways, let's just actually calculate something. Let's do 9 times 8, sure. Sounds like a good plan. Equals 72. You notice a GT thing comes up. I think that stands for grand total, but I'm not quite sure what all its functionality is, other than what it does do. I'll show that in a minute. But before I get into the grand total, I'm going to demonstrate what this send functionality does. If you got like a sum here, I don't know, let's say 99999, a whole bunch of 9s. Let's just say, theoretically speaking, that's your sum. If you push send, it sends all the characters into your text editor, or whatever program you happen to be using. Obviously that works for clearing everything. So grand total, you obviously saw that GT come on. What does it actually do? Well, if you push it, it brings back your previous calculation. And then if you push it twice, it gets rid of it in memory, and you could clear it out, and now it doesn't really do anything. So I don't really know what the deal is with that. It's obviously got memory functions and all of that. Percentage, so let's say 5 divided by, I don't know, 8. Then if we hit percentage, we get a percentage. I don't really know if it's doing its one job. That's kind of weird. You do all kinds of fun things, I guess. So I think I overflowed the buffer there, so it gives me error and all that. That kind of sucks, but anyways, it's got an equals key here, but I guess it does the same thing as, oh, maybe not. 6 plus 6 equals 12. Yeah, no, it doesn't work. It works as a plus. Alright, that's cool. Whoa. I didn't know it kept that. Interesting. This thing is kind of weird. I haven't been able to really pinpoint exactly how it functions. I can't figure out how the tax functionality works, and funny enough, Kensington used the model number and product number of this thing in a newer version of this that had a different key layout, and it did not have the tax functionality, and they got rid of all the documentation for this one. So I don't know anything about this other than what I've been able to figure out just by experimenting with it, which hasn't really been much because I haven't done much with it. So yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. Really sad that Kensington did that, but they did. So I guess there's that. Let's put it into keypad mode, and oh, I hate Windows 8 sometimes. And let's open up some kind of program. I don't know. I have Microsoft Office on here. Actually, I got 2 copies of Office. I got Office 2003 and Office 2016. That's weird. But I only had the one. So let's just open 2016, even though I hate the interface with a burning passion. Get out of here. Stupid thing. Oh, here's a helpful tip. No, it's not helpful. I've used this program before. Get off my lawn. Oops. Gotta put it in keypad mode. We'll turn on number lock. Then we'll do some experimentation. 00 shows up exactly the same. Tab works as a tab, as opposed to putting in an equals key. And what does currency do? Currency also puts in a euro symbol. Interesting. That wasn't working in LibreOffice, so I don't know. I don't have LibreOffice on here. Maybe it was WordPad. Maybe WordPad does something weird. But everything else I think would work. So, that's pretty much it. But, I did say that we were going to test the limits of this thing. So, let's go test the limits of this thing. Before I do that, I forgot one thing. Like this thing said, it also functions as a USB hub. So, I've got a USB thumb drive here. Just a cheap thing. Let's see if it actually works as a USB hub. It'd help if I plug it in the right way, I think. I want to put it in calculator mode, so that way I don't type anything that's going to mess up the computer. Alright. Whoops. Not enough power on the USB hub. So, that's interesting. I guess it doesn't work. I wouldn't be surprised after all it's a Chinese piece of garbage product. Okay, so it doesn't work with that. What else could I potentially use? I don't know. I've got a couple USB drives here. Here's another one. Let's try this one and see what this does. That one seemed to work. Well, it's having a little bit of trouble here. Oh, no, there we go. It was working. So it looks like it's working okay. So it's just that USB drive. I wonder what the deal was with that. What happens if I try to... Where did I put it? Oh, there it is. What happens if I try to plug it in again? What does it do? Now it freaks out. Okay. So I plug that one and plug in just this one. Yeah, it doesn't like this USB drive for some reason. So, I guess it's very selective about USB devices. So that's kind of unfortunate. But let's go ahead and let's test the limits of this thing, shall we? So how are we going to test the limits of that thing? That's how. This is an Asus ePC, because I'm really not sure how you're supposed to say that. 2G Surf. For those of you who are new to this channel, which is actually quite a few of you, I've had a massive increase in subscribers, including my 600th, so thank you for taking an interest in my crappy videos, I guess. Oh, that kind of sucks. This was pristine. I'll have to see if I can clean that off. But anyways, I think that happened just now, too, so that kind of sucks. We'll see. But anyways, this thing is from, I think, 2007, and it is running a positively ancient version of Linux. So we will see how this thing deals with Linux. But of course, gotta fire it up first. I have to open it. I need two hands to open it because the hinges are stiff, which is a good thing. At least they're not floppy like a lot of these kind of cheap laptops were. Of course, I'm assuming that it even still works, which it should. So we get to watch it boot. I bought this thing on eBay purely for nostalgia purposes because I used to own one when they were brand new, and it was nice to experiment with the Linux build that was on it. Of course, I haven't done anything since then with it. It's not the fastest thing in the world. It could certainly be faster. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll open up the text editing program. The only one that it's got, which is OpenOffice 2. Kind of sucks. There's no updates available for this thing anymore. It's just way too old for that. And we'll take this thing and we'll plug it in and see how it reacts. If I can plug it in. Alright. It's turned itself on in keypad mode. The computer doesn't seem to have identified it. It might take it a minute. It should pop up in the system tray with a USB icon. Hard drive light is not doing anything. Well, it's doing some things every once in a while, but it's not showing up, so I have my doubts that this thing works 100%. But the keypad functionality seems to. That's pretty cool. Currency symbol does nothing. Tab works. None of the other buttons will obviously do much of anything. Let's put it into calculator mode and type a bunch of junk out. I don't know, that sounds good. And hit send. That seems to work. Everything seems to be fine, so I'd say that works. Let's try a USB drive. I'm going to need 2 hands for that, so I'll put the camera down and we'll try a USB drive. This computer is completely silent. I think it's got a fan in it, but I don't really hear it. Put in this USB drive. Which doesn't seem to have done much. There we go. Ah, it does work. See that? Open file manager. Sure, why not, eh? What's it doing? It's taking a while to do that. Alright, there we go. It's actually working. That's impressive. You can see all the files that are on it. Wow. So it actually works. That's pretty neat. Of course, it's a simple enough device that it probably should work. But, well, there you have it. I'm going to eject that safely so that way it doesn't get completely upset with me. And there you can see, looks like a Xerox logo, but that's actually Xandros, which is what this is running. It's a version of Xandros Linux with a custom interface, custom GUI installed on top of it. But anyways, there you have it. Thank you for watching. If you've got any comments, feel free to leave them down below. And this is CP666 signing off. I hope to see you next time. Till then. Yes, I definitely want to proceed, because the video's over. And yes, if you're wondering, the scuff mark cleaned off very, very nicely.